Hey, today I'm joined with Tanya Mills, the Vice President at Tri Properties in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Charlie Holt, the founder of Monte Cristo Holdings in Columbia, South Carolina. Today I talked to them a little bit about the real estate industry, AI, the future, and the biggest obstacles they face today. What do you do on a normal day?
So my boss likes meetings. So we start bright and early on Monday mornings. We have an 8 a.m. office leasing meeting,
Okay.
lasts about 30 minutes, and we talk about our inventory of properties that we are listing. We have the construction manager talk about upfits that he's doing in the Raleigh Durham area. Then we have our property manager. He gets online, and we have a staff of 80 employees at Tri Properties, and we manage, I think, over 2 million square feet. So we stay busy.
Yeah.
Then at 8:45 a.m., our corporate service group meets, and we talk about properties that we are listed for sale. Then we have several companies that we help to find space. So we're doing searches for them to look at different options. And then on Tuesday, we have a 9 a.m. meeting where we talk about development properties and
Mhm.
land that we're selling throughout the triangle. But we also have listings in Wilmington, Elizabeth City, and Mebane, North Carolina. So we do stuff in North Carolina, but we can also do it across the United States. We have that NAI um, affiliate is
Yeah.
part of like a franchise. And
Mhm.
then we don't have any meetings on Wednesday. Thursday morning, we meet at 8:15 for industrial properties, and we manage properties across North Carolina. We have Merit properties. We also do stuff for Prologis, and we help people sell land for large industrial users. And then we also have investment services that talk at that. So part of my job is participating in those meetings. And then the rest of the week, I'm on call for doing tours. If somebody wants to go see one of the properties that we have listed for sale or
Mhm.
for lease. And we also have Matterport. Just showed you that before, where there's like a video that we do
Yeah.
of the properties. And then on the listing or sale flyers, you can view that with a QR code, and then you can go and virtually tour the properties. So,
Okay. I'm here with Charlie Holt, founder at Monte Cristo Holdings. I was connected with him by a friend here at South Carolina. Charlie, tell me a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, Henry. So essentially, what my company, what we specialize in, is we're basically just performing arbitrage on GPUs, or a GPU is essentially just the computer that AI runs on. So I've been doing it for around 3.5 years now, but with the recent uptick in AI and how many more people are using it now, we've definitely seen a lot more volume, and it's been a lot more lucrative as of late just because of the growth of the industry.
In this class, we've been learning a lot about AI. Do you guys use AI or in any way to scale
yes,
properties? You do?
we do. We've been using it a lot more lately. That our IT has been saying we need to go through another system. I believe, is it Chad or
The
I'm trying to think.
Claude or Chat
Claude.
GPT?
Yes.
Claude, yeah.
Claude is one he's been encouraged us to use because we have to be really careful when we're sharing comps, because once you do the search, then that can go out to be publicized, and you don't want to have your competitors knowing some of the lease rates. And
Yeah.
we have like a really big property we just did in Benson, North Carolina,
Mhm.
Vulcan, and we've been really having to be careful with not disclosing what that lease rate was for. So we have a
Mhm.
lot of that with some of our big deals that we do. The client does not want the price that they paid or what they're leasing. So we have to be careful with AI on our searches. So we're constantly being reminded.
Yeah.
I think of late, I've been using it for just being able to do a summary for a client on current lease rates in the Glenwood South corridor.
Mhm.
We have a gentleman that has about 10 properties within like a 3 mile radius. So he wanted to know like what the current lease rate was. So we can use AI for that.
I've been talking to a few real estate developers recently. They've been saying they've been using AI to scope properties and get the measurements and whatnot. Could you see your company expanding to real estate anyhow using AI, anything like that?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, actually, real estate is huge in the creation of AI, and it sounds weird because it's a software product first, but in order to run AI, you need these massive data centers that are, sometimes miles long, and they require huge power. So it brings interesting opportunities in unexpected markets. For example, X, like the company that Elon Musk owns, they just opened up the world's biggest data center in, of all places, Memphis, Tennessee, and that's it's really interesting because if you invested there before the big AI boom, you would have made a lot of money. I know people that have made 9 to 10x returns in 3 to 4 years just off that, because particularly just because the power availability. So that's kind of an interesting resource that you can look at. Um, if you really wanted to get into AI centric real estate investing from the data center side.
Yeah, I have one of my friends is really good at programming. He's basically selling to companies. We can do this for you. It's basically like using ChatGPT and you can put in all your information, but it's not private or it's not public. Someone
Hmm.
can't come in and get all the stuff. I just have one last question for you. What's the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome, you think, in your career?
Well, it's really hard when you have a property that you get hired to sell and then you get it under contract and the owner gets really excited about, they're going to get 2 or 3 million dollars, and then about a month in the buyer decides to not buy the property. So that's really hard when you have clients that sometimes are already thinking about ways they're going to invest their money, and you just have to constantly remind people that the deal is really not done until the deal has been inked.
Yeah,
People get ahead of their skis. So,
you just have to maintain a
uh,
good relationship either way.
hmm so I think that's the hardest part for me is like just having people to be aware that these deals can take 6 months, 9 months, 18 months with
Mhm.
financing, and you just have to pace yourself and not get discouraged if it falls out of contract. So that's a big obstacle. So
Yeah. This has been great talking to you. I just got one last question. What's the biggest obstacle you and your company have been facing recently?
Really, that's actually a really great question. But I would say that it's competition. I think there's a lot more competition now, and I think that if you don't utilize AI to its fullest potential, somebody else will. And I've been seeing that people have been using AIs in ways that I wouldn't have expected to use AI, and that makes competition harder on my end. But that just goes to show you that AI is really it's a tool, but it can also, if you're not on top of it, it can also be detrimental to you because you can have a competitor of yours, surpass your ability to do business. So yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Miss Mills. Thank
yes,
you.
sure.
Good
Have a great
talking to
day,
you.
Henry.
Yeah,
You
you
too.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye.